are at Shelters by Jesus podcast, and we are so excited that you're with us, you're watching, you're listening, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting like, you're sharing with your friends, because that brings money in. And if you want to help get people off the street, you go to sheltersbyjesus.com. If you'd like to give, it's $9. We'll get somebody off the street. We also have 4 books out written by the dumb hick from Skowhegan, me. And they have 2 prices, $10 are free. And you put your name and address right there and tell if you want books 1, 2, 3, or 4, all of them. We'll mail them right out to you. You also can call the office at 207-474-8833 and give them your name and address there, and they'll ship it. But the other thing you can do is get a tour. When you call that number, say, I'd like a tour, and you'll meet the residents. You'll see everything we have. And we're just excited about you being a part of this. So now, on to the podcast. Hey, all right, here we are. We're in Augusta, Maine. This is the second podcast from this location. We're at Mill Park in Augusta, Maine, and we are so excited to be here. We've been feeding the homeless. We find them. I mentioned on the other one, they got driven out before we got here, so we've had to go and been SBJ busing and bikers busing. We're here with a bunch of bikers, and we are having a ball. We got other pastors with us, and we have a gentleman. Believe it or not, this is the truth. Him and his wife, Kelly, are here from Connecticut, East Hartford, Connecticut. They come all the way down and bring a boxcar full of stuff and into your backyard. So we need you to pick it up. So anyway, I want to get this thing rolling, this podcast going. I'm going to start with Seth, who's my chief of staff. And Seth, what do you think about what's going on here today?
Every time we set a date, especially after the first one, I get so excited, and the closer we get, the more excited I get. We were, gathering at 7 o'clock this morning, wishing we could leave now.
Right.
Because when you bring hope to people, you bring tents, you bring sleeping bags, you bring food, you bring toiletries, whatever they need, and they're so thankful. There's no feeling like it. There's no drug could give you that high. You know,
it's a buzz, ain't it?
It's a huge buzz.
Woo!
Go home on cloud 9, have a hard time falling asleep tonight because of everything we've done.
Yeah. Pastor Ed, you brought a group here from North Monmouth community today.
Yes, we did.
And you came in, not only that, but you went and got tents. You can tell about that. What do you think about all of this? Why do you and your church even care about this?
Well, we love being here. My wife was with me today, my elders, some deacons, and their wives, and just a blessing to be here, because you realize, right, that we left church with a home, with clothes. These people have nothing. We went and bought 5 tents and 2 sleeping bags, and before Seth could get them out of his hands, they were handed out.
So, we'd already passed out. How many, Seth?
16.
16.
Yeah, it's but to see people, Jeff, stuffing bags full of food for them, enough to get him by for a couple of weeks. One of our elders, Bill, had a guy across town right here in Augusta that was too embarrassed to come, so Bill comes, gets him food, fills a bag full of food from Jeff.
Awesome.
And takes it to him.
Oh, awesome. I love this story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he and Vern, my senior elder. So, you know, it's just a blessing to be able to do that. We had a gift given to us for this specifically, $500, so we'll go out and buy more. And it's because we realize, you know what, how blessed we are to be a part of a ministry that goes from Connecticut to Augusta to feed people, from Skowhegan to Augusta. And what's amazing to me, Pastor, is they drove the people off before we got here. And just like Auburn, it's not a problem. Pastor, the biker church, Bill, they go out and find people.
They go hunt them down,
and bring them back. So just an incredible day. It just makes you sit back and realize.
Well, you know what? Satan would like to stop us, but the more he tries, the better we look.
Well,
seriously.
I really do think you like it when they drive them off, because you get,
I get wound up.
Yes, you do.
I do.
I love it.
I wear my biker vest. You saw, maybe you caught the other podcast, so I'm feeling a little tough today, by the way. You know, he's in this little fancy shirt, but look what I got, man. You know, man.
I got Bear as my bodyguard.
That's cheating. Jeff, I want to ask you, and people have got to be wondering, why would you come from East Hartford, Connecticut, to Augusta, Maine for a bunch of what they call those kind of people on the street. Why would you do
The
that?
second time, Jeff, because he was here in Auburn too. I want
Yes.
people to know that.
He's on my other
And he
podcast,
and his
Robert.
precious wife, I got to say that his precious wife, she prays with anybody.
Yep.
She grabs him by the hand and prays.
Amen.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Go for it.
So I come here to support your ministry, number one. I applaud all the energy and the effort you put into this ministry. I applaud all the people that help you and support you and come alongside you. And over the years, when you ask me to help you, I pony up.
You do.
Because no one does. Okay, if we're all honest about it, we just don't pony up. If we all ponied up, we wouldn't have these problems.
Amen. How can you argue that?
And you can't argue it.
No, you can't.
You can see it. Okay, we're all consumed in our own lives, and we all have our own lives. So when you express your new endeavor to me, I told you I would participate with that. Where I live, no one's doing this, so I've never been involved with this before. So this is a new experience for me
And me.
and you. And we've always supported you with donations from my clients.
Yes, you have.
So I've always enjoyed that. I know it helps out those in need.
Absolutely.
So this new Feeding the Homeless mobile is really nice. It's really a nice feeling to receive when you see the faces of people that you're helping. We like that. My wife loves to pray with people, and we're just enthusiastic to come up here and help you.
Amen. You know, she prays sometimes in Spanish, and I don't understand the words she's saying, but the expression on her face, she warms my heart while she's praying. So when it's done, I go, muchas gracias. You know.
Well, there has to be a Spanish community out there somewhere, and they will understand her words.
Amen.
But
Amen.
she has a heart of gold,
and it shows. I'm saying, you know, the people, when she's praying over them, even in Spanish, they're eating it up because they feel the love coming from her.
Look at the smile on her face.
Yeah.
Isn't that a blessing?
She's a sweetie.
My wife loves to.
Tears in her eyes.
She wants to save them all. And, you know, we want to help everybody.
Amen.
But we really need to pony up as a people, as a church. I have no issues coming up there whatsoever. But we're going to try to stay home in the future and maybe gather up a group of people that care. Try to help out those we can.
Amen.
I can only encourage those that are watching to get involved with your own area.
Amen.
Or partner up with Pastor Barry and his crew and help out those. Our country needs help.
Amen.
We have our country's in the decline. If you watch enough news and you see enough things in the streets, we need help.
Yep, we do.
We all have to pitch in.
If I can add to that, Jeff, because I really like what you're saying. The thing we need people to understand is it's a risk. I understand it's uncomfortable. Pastor Barry has said that ministry is never convenient. Never, you will never ever find a convenient time to do ministry. But I will tell you that the sacrifice, the work, the ponying up, Jeff, as you said, is worth it. It makes a difference in who you are and what you do with your community.
You know, I was thinking on the way up here today, I'm saying to myself as I'm driving, saying, is this really helping someone? Right? Is it really helping someone? Because I know when I come up here with a truckload of supplies to your location, I know that those the clothing or the furniture is being taken out and it's helping people in need to help a new address. I can see that. But I'm saying to myself, there's one day of food, there's one day of feeding someone, really, one day a month. Does it really do anything as I'm driving?
Yeah.
And my conclusion to my thoughts were, maybe that one day, one person feels a sense of hope.
Yep. Amen.
Maybe that's it.
Yep.
One
Amen.
day, one person that I'm loading up that bags of stuff with feels like someone cares about me today.
Amen. Preach it.
Because the other days they don't care.
Yep.
No one cares.
Yep.
Where I live, every corner, people are on the streets with their signs.
Yep.
And if I'm honest, I drove by for years and years and years until I met you.
Yep.
I'm saying, come on, bum, get a job. You can all work. You know, if you really want to work, you can work in this country. People just don't want to do it. So you can create all these things in your mind until you meet someone. And I have to say to you, it gives you goosebumps.
Uh-huh.
But until you actually meet someone in a shelter and hear their story,
Yeah.
because we all have a story, and I have to say to you, if you have a heart, it's gonna get you, and that might be all you need to get off the sofa to participate in helping someone.
There you go.
The personal stories are. You're right, Jeff. You get to know somebody. Suddenly, there's a responsibility there.
They're not just a face in the community. They're a faceless thing. They are people.
Yeah.
So, and I tell you, right beside us right now, Jeff, Ken used to be on the streets in where we are.
Right here.
Who is here?
Really?
Yep, this is where I started
Yeah.
out. Started out my homeless experience. Is right here in Augusta. I stayed 2 nights in this part. I slept up that direction. Um, and you know, it seems like it was just yesterday. Being back here today seems like it was just yesterday, and the seeing the people, and I have to say it's a totally different group of people. It's not the same people that were here before. It's different people. It's not whether they moved on or we're not seeing the people that I knew before. But it blesses me that I can come back this time. I have an apartment now, and I have a place to go home to tonight. And it blesses me that I can come back and I can actually hand a sandwich or a hot dog or something to someone, and I know that they're appreciative because I was here and I was appreciative when I got just the hot dog or the hamburger, and people that stop and talk to you and treat you like a human being, rather than try to go to the other side of the street and to get away from you, and that's happened, and so I love being with this part of the ministry, and as long as this ministry is here, I'm going to be here. Um, so yeah, I'm happy that I have my place. I wish there was more that I could do for the people here, but we're doing what we can. We're doing more than what other people are doing. And if you ever worry about whether you're making a difference just sending out one day's worth of food, that's a day that they didn't have before. Because there are not groups that come around and do this. And every once in a while you get someone to come up and hand you a sandwich or a bottle of water. But there is not groups that will come and feed an entire group of homeless people and treat them like a human being. So thank you.
I want him to say that, Jeff, because you brought up a great point. Does this one day, is it making a difference? And yes,
It does.
this one day is making a difference. And it
Especially-
might be a change in somebody even here.
Yeah, they're going home with tents.
Yes.
They're going home with sleeping bags. They're going home with clothes. They're going home with sanitation stuff. Yeah, it
That
makes
they
a
didn't
huge
have.
difference.
And
Because I was thinking, that one day of food that we're providing. I'm saying to myself, one day of food, okay, that lasts so many days. Then what? We can't. We don't. I don't have the means. We all don't have the means
No.
Of course not.
to do it full time every day. Do
Right.
this.
right.
But
In your facility, you have that mechanism already created to help out X amount of people.
Right.
But now you're in the street.
But it's a
and,
jump start. What we're doing here is a jump start to getting people involved and getting people. Well, maybe I can do something. Maybe I can provide another day of food. Maybe I can provide another sandwich.
So what's interesting, Jeff, you mentioned that. My two elders that went and took the food to that guy next across the river. Vern's comment to me was, Pastor, not only do we feed him today, but because of what you did, Jeff. He's got food for 2 weeks.
Mm.
So that, you're right. If all we did what was that, that's enough. But the fact that you bring up enough food, Jeff, that guy's going to have food for 2 more weeks. I mean, that's the difference. And you know what? He may share it with someone else, right?
Oh, yeah.
But all I know is this: we made a difference in one person's life today.
I'll say this too. My daughter Morgan, the first time we went to Portland, we were driving back. She says, "I'm so mad at the government. I'm so mad at the government." I said, "Why?" Because the government isn't doing anything to fix this. I said, "The government was never called by God to do this. We were called by God. The church was called by God. It will never be fixed by the government because it's not the government's responsibility. It's the church's responsibility. And until the church gets involved, it will continue. Jesus said you will have the poor forever. So our mandate never comes to an end. That's why the government can't do anything about it because they don't know how to do it.
And that's why we'll be doing this in December and January.
That's
We
right.
will, and we're going to take it beyond Maine from done. My goal, my vision is that we hit the ones in Maine, we get other outfits coming in like this, like the bikers are going to do Augusta. We got people doing Portland. We want to get some doing Auburn, and we're going into Bangor. They got people coming in there. I want to take this out of state. Like, you're right. In your area, there may not be anybody, but we could come in and hook up with you in your area and go to your people and get something to start there. And people go, whoa, they're coming from Maine in our backyard. Yikes, baby. Maybe we better do something.
Yeah, you might like that podcast.
Yeah, and see, here you are. You know, I'm using that and telling people, we got a guy from Connecticut coming down here in your backyard. Well, Maine may be going to your backyard.
Welcome you on down.
I tell you, I got a vision for this. God's got, man, he took a handful of sandwiches our first trip to Portland, and he started a ministry.
Yeah.
This is now a ministry.
Loaves and fishes.
Hey, John, can you just scan what's going on over there with the camera, just enough so they can see it? This is some of the people working. This is a small group that's left, and just want to show you what this is all about. We got people that care. We started out with a couple of people, and then we wound up with this. Oh, by the way, hey, J-Mac, come here with your wife for a second. Just walk over here in front of the camera. Bring your wife, the baby. I want that baby. Bring that baby. I want you to see something. You got to see this.
Step in here.
Step right up here with us. Step right up here.
Yeah,
Come
go
on.
ahead, dear. Go ahead.
Come right up here for a second. We're almost through. I want people to see this baby. Can you get a close up of this baby? Show this baby. All right, what's her name?
Anastasia.
Anastasia. How old's Anastasia?
3 weeks tomorrow.
3 weeks tomorrow. And where were you when she was born?
Right in the room.
In Shelters by, well, where were you living though?
Shelters by
And why it didn't happen in Shelters by Jesus. I'm not running the birthing center, all right? She was in Shelters by Jesus, 9 months pregnant when she showed up. You imagine this baby on the street? You see, this is the difference guys like Jeff are all making, because Jeff and the rest of them see this and they go, this is worth investing in, right? Am I right, Jeff? You darn right I'm right, Jeff. Absolutely. Thank you for agreeing with me, Jeff. Anyway, thank you for just coming up. And tell me, you guys, what's your daughter's name here?
Everly.
Everly. What a beautiful little girl. This family would have been on the street. A 9-month pregnant lady with a little girl and her husband, they would have headed for the street. They had no place to go when they come to Shelters by Jesus. But now she is all bundled up and taken care of, and they're taken care of because guys like Jeff come from Connecticut, because guys and folks like you give you $9 a month. $9 a month. Think of that. $9 a month will take people off the street and allow this baby to have a place to live when it's born. $9. That's a pretty good investment of $9, right, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Hey, you can't beat it, buddy. That won't get you half a dozen coffees on the way in from Connecticut. So, anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. If you want to be a part of our ministry, please go to sheltersbyjesus.com. Go to our YouTube and hit search for Shelters by Jesus. Like it, pass it on, subscribe, share it with your friends, encourage your people, get involved. And we'll be putting it on there while we go next. If you'd like to see what this is all about, hook up with us. We're Shelters by Jesus, going mobile. And we may be coming your way next. So in the meantime, till my next podcast, y'all come back now, here.